How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Hope everyone is having a lovely weekend. Let's talk a little DJ Reader. DJ Reader entering what will be his third contract in the league. Historically, the Bengals shy away from signing these third-year contracts, and we're seeing a lot of players, a lot of teams, we should say, showing up with some dead cap this season, releasing players from their contracts, some older players, freeing up the cap space. Bengals, one of the best in the league when it comes to not eating a bunch of dead cap going into this 2024 season. So, hey, props to the front office, because that's kind of been their MO throughout the years, and that's why it's been their MO. Showing up loud and clear right there. Because now they enter the season without that dead cap hit, with some extra flexibility where, yeah, some of these players, they do turn out in their 30s, they play all right, they do okay. And other ones where it's like, we gotta lighten up the load a little bit. And unfortunately, you eat some of that cap still and you can't spend it in other areas. So it's been a financially smart decision by the Bengals, really. But at the same time, there are situations, as mentioned, where you do want to kind of keep those guys. You remember Andrew Whitworth. Now you wonder DJ Reader. Reader's going to be entering his 30-year-old season going into the next season. He's going to be entering with a torn quad recovery. And there's going to be some question marks. But most importantly, DJ Reader, without question, is a game changer for this defense when it comes to stopping the run. This team is night and day different since DJ Reader's here, clogging up those gaps in the middle on the ground. And it is game-changing in multiple aspects, because when it's 2nd and 6, it's 3rd and 2 because you gave up 4 yards or 6 yards on the ground, those early downs. It makes it that much more difficult for your secondary to slow down opposing teams. So when you have a run-stopping cog down the middle, a stud like DJ Reader up the middle, forcing those 2nd and longs, 3rd and longs, allowing guys like Trey Hendrickson to get some pressure on the quarterback, changes the game. Again, helps with not allowing those 35-yard deep passes, allowing 30 points a game this defense did last season. Because again, you give the big chunk plays on 1st down, 2nd and 2. Okay, now we take the deep shot. 3rd and 2, pick up the yards, whatever. Game changing, no question about it. And you wonder, how is DJ Reader going to play on that torn quad? Yeah, we're going to see a regression in his game. When you're turning 30, you're going to, start to see the decline. What's going to happen? DJ Reader is going to enter this season, according to Spot Rack, projected about a $15 million per year contract over 3 years. That would make him 30, 31, 32. Not bad. Not bad at all, really. 32 is reasonable. You walk out the door at 32, you wonder how much the decline is going to be. But you also worry, most importantly, about that injury. If he plays the entire last season, he finishes the season strong, you say, okay, we feel good about things. 3 more years, we might be able to make it work this time. We might make an exception to the rule. But because of that injury, you don't know how he's going to come back and perform next season, which makes it very unlikely that Cincinnati Bengals say, here's 3 years. But at the same time, it might be unlikely where any team feels completely confident giving him as much money. Maybe he says, all right, let's come back to Cincinnati. Win-win for everybody. Bengals get 1 more year out of this guy. They need him. Give a chance to develop another defensive tackle. Maybe draft one next year. Chase other positions this year. Figure out other positions on this team, which they desperately need to do. With the T. Higgins contract expiring, where they're going to do the tight end position, you got to need another year to maybe potentially figure out the safety position. Lots of moving pieces, as there always is on a championship kind of team. 1 more year of solid play out of DJ Reader. Maybe you give him a little bit extra money, a little bit more money on a little bit if you can afford it. He was projected 15, maybe give him 16. Maybe you guarantee him a little bit more just because it's 1 year. Give him some cushion, give him a reason to want to play 1 more year. I kind of prove it year, so he can ink up 1 more big contract. Now, mind you, Reader, it really is for his age kind of surprising, but the cap's going up kind of how it is, where he's actually projected to make a little bit more than when he did average annual wise with the Bengals. But I think it's a smart decision for the Cincinnati Bengals, because it's just too. You want to believe that they can draft, and that's the thing though. You want to believe they can draft a tackle. You want to believe they can draft a defensive tackle. You'd like a pass rusher. You eventually we're going to need some linebackers and some CBs coming up. Some of these corners getting a little bit older. You want to draft a wide receiver if T. Higgins. This is a long list of things. If you're the Cincinnati Bengals and you want to get somebody that's going to out of free agency, you have to be active in free agency, because you're not going to fill every one of those needs in the draft. So you want to be methodical in free agency as well. So maybe you see somebody out in free agency that's a tackle you feel better about, like you can get cheaper, that's younger, then sure. Kind of tough to come across. Meanwhile, it's important also not to just let every single player in-house leave. It's like, yeah, we talk about letting T go, Jesse Bates go, Von Bell go. Some guys, in hindsight, it'll be a good decision. I think T. Higgins, you look back and say, yeah, we could have got that production out of another receiver for a lot cheaper. Von Bell, we can get that kind of production out of I don't think you can get it cheaper. I mean, he did great. Jesse Bates, you think, tough loss possibly right now. It feels like when we're seeing all these teams cut safeties, Bengals might be able to pick up somebody solid. It might be Jesse Bates level, but really close to it for a lot cheaper, seeing all these teams releasing the safeties this offseason. Could work out. But you can't take a gamble in every position, let every single player walk, especially one that's as important as DJ Reader, where it doesn't feel like right now they have a next man up. I think it was easier to let Jesse Bates go because you said, oh, we got 2 guys coming up. We're going to draft one. We already have one. It's easier to let T. Higgins go because you do believe in Yoshi. You do believe in Charlie Jones you drafted last season, and you do believe you still have Jamar Chase, a really good receiver. The cushion's there. When you look down the line at defensive tackle, yeah, BJ Hill's been impressive for this team, but he ain't no DJ Reader. There isn't anybody coming up to the woodworks with DJ Reader, so it almost makes you feel a little bit better entering this draft where you don't feel as desperate, maybe even entering free agency where you don't feel as desperate just to reach for somebody, when you can get a guy that you know fits this scheme, buys you another year on this team. I'd love to see him keep him. I am hesitant, though, of saying here's 3 years coming off an injury as a 30-year-old. I can see why the Bengals wouldn't do that. I can see why the 1 year would work, though. He's not going to another team for 1 year, which is another good thing. It's like, okay, I get to stay where I'm at. It's not like I completely get up and leave kind of thing for a year, move places. Gets to stay where he's at. We'll see. Love y'all's thoughts. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.